Welcome to the African Structural Revolution, a new podcast series promoting the new African single market and promoting global Africa. My name is Dr. Sultan Omwange. In the African tongue, you call me Sote. I'm an international business expert, a former teaching associate at the University of Cambridge, and founder and director of Trade Connect Cambridge Conferences Limited. So, this groundbreaking creation of the new African single market has triggered an African structural revolution, and it does represent one of the greatest chances to rewrite the African narrative economically. This can happen because if the single market is the opportunity for creating millions of jobs across the African continent, you can agree with me that poverty can be eradicated from Africa and a new narrative other than poverty can certainly emerge. This podcast brings you the opportunity to engage with the enormous business potential available on the African continent as a result of the new African Continental Free Trade Area. You, as my listeners, can become empowered to invest into the key sectors of the African single market. And those key sectors are agriculture and agribusiness, pharmaceuticals, infrastructure and logistics, mining, and the automotive sector. Right now, you can start small and medium-scale businesses. You can take advantage of the value chain across these sectors. You can set up international joint ventures. You can create global partnerships and collaborations. Actually create new inventions that can translate into high-impact new ventures that create new jobs on the African continent, essentially increasing economic growth and the volume of intra-African trade and ultimately increasing global productivity. This is a great privilege to be able to advance humanity in the 21st century, and I will be bringing you weekly podcasts that can actually help you to see where the opportunities are for you to take advantage of it. What we're actually going to see in the coming years is the growth of African businesses and the significant role played by the African diaspora to facilitate this growth. The growth of Africa-centric innovation, new discoveries, African businesses expanding to new markets, not just across Africa, but collaborating with the world to birth new industries that can actually contribute to global growth. On the African Structural Revolution series, we'll hence be having conversations with CEOs of African and global businesses to learn firsthand how their industries are expanding and understanding where the opportunities lie in the new African single market. I will be unearthing these opportunities that exist in the African single market for you, and you can take advantage of it. It's going to be epic. We'll be chatting with multilateral development banks, heads of states. We'll chat with global investment banks. We'll chat with global credit rating agencies to be able to inform you about the best places to invest. We'll chat with leaders of supranational institutions governing the African Continental Free Trade Area, and so much more. I will interview very powerful speakers and guests on this show, and that will help reveal to you those industries that will be growing really fast in the coming years so you can take advantage of it. I will also be bringing these conversations under the auspices of the Global Africa Initiative. So Global Africa is a wonderful initiative recently launched by the Africa Export-Import Bank, Afreximbank. Afreximbank is on a mission to empower the 2 billion people of African descent worldwide to define their economic destiny on their own terms. So I had a closer look at On Their Own Terms. It is in accordance with one's own wishes, defining one's economic destiny in one's own way. So the African diaspora need to become part of Global Africa to facilitate its success. So Global Africa is actually transcending geographical boundaries, isn't it? It's transcending geographical boundaries to unite African and Caribbean nations in economic prosperity and self-determination. Wherever you are on the planet, Global Africa is saying you as an African hold the power to fostering the industrialization of the African continent, and hence you can contribute to the advancement of Africa at this time with the enormous resources that you might have, the global networks you have, for example, the financial resources you have, the wealth of skills you can bring to it. Join me on this journey as I unpack the African structural revolution week by week. By listening to this podcast, you can have access to expert knowledge and insights on those markets that are beginning to emerge across the African continent, particularly in the sectors of agriculture and agribusiness, pharmaceuticals, infrastructure and logistics, mining, and other sectors that have been growing in the past as well. You can gain strategic insights to help you formulate market entry strategy into the right markets in Africa. You can gain exposure into innovations and new ideas. I will consciously be looking for new innovations and new ideas that are spinning out new industries, and that can help you as my listeners to come up with new ventures that create high impact, translating into extensive job opportunities on the African continent. So I want to promote and facilitate new venture creation, essentially, as you listen to this podcast. You as my listener can gain access to a wealth of information that can help you to achieve your business objectives. You can also gain access to policy and regulatory updates as those policies are being made and implemented on the continent. Understand how to become part of Global Africa. Let us connect African goods and services to global supply chains. Drive your personal success and your business's success as you listen to this podcast, and join me week by week for the African Structural Revolution series. Thanks